Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and not as windy today. Boy, wasn't it nice. We did still see some wind out there. Plenty of sunshine and some nice mild temperatures too. Still a little bit below normal, but awfully comfortable out there today. How about this shot from our PTZ camera? That's our Sky-Fi camera up at Lake Wenatchee, and right smack dab in the middle of your screen, you can see the lake, and in front of that, Kaler Glen Golf Course. And what a great day to golf. And will it be golf weather on the 4th of July? We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on. But here's your forecast for Friday and Saturday. Beautiful. Lots of sunshine both days. We will see dry weather. It's already very dry out there. We're talking high temperatures mainly between 80 and 90 degrees for us here in north central Washington. Winds, they will be there, but really not too bad. We'll see winds generally about 5 to 15 miles an hour, possibly gusty at times, but all in all, a very nice 4th of July weekend weather forecast. We'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A former Wenatchee Valley man now living in Texas is accused of sexually abusing a child back in 2012. A man serving 20 years in prison for murder is now seeking a new sentence. And Congresswoman Kim Schreier yesterday helped send a $1.5 trillion infrastructure package from the House to the Senate. But first, we begin tonight. Just over a week ago, Chelan and Douglas counties hit a milestone of 500 total cases of COVID-19. Now, it's past 600. The two-county health district says there are 621 cases in the Wenatchee Valley as of this morning. Numbers show the largest spread is among people under 40 years old, and the virus continues to disproportionately affect the valley's Hispanic community. They make up about a third of the total population, but represent 77% of coronavirus cases. The rate of spread is alarming for local efforts to move to the next phase of the state's economic reopening plan. The Chelan-Douglas Douglas Board of Health was scheduled to address that application in a meeting earlier today. Well, a former Wenatchee Valley man now living in Texas is accused of sexually abusing a child in 2012. Douglas County prosecutors say Baltimore Vigil Jr. was 16 years old when he committed the crime, and they filed a single count this week of first-degree child rape. The alleged victim was 5 years old at the time and disclosed the abuse just late last year. Vigil was charged in 2018 with the rape of another child in the victim's family, but pleaded down to third and fourth degree assault and was sentenced to 3 months of home monitoring. He must appear in court now on the new charge on July 27th. Well, a man imprisoned for killing a fellow orchard worker 9 years ago wants a judge to re-sentence him. Luis Alberto Cruz, who's now 26 years old, was 17 years old when he stabbed Amilcar Ramirez to death in an orchard near Manson. He says his 20-year sentence for second-degree murder should be amended because the Chelan County judge didn't consider his young age at the time of that killing. Judge Travis Brandt said in a hearing on Wednesday he doesn't have grounds to change the sentence and referred the case to the State Court of Appeals. Cruz is serving his time at Coyote Ridge Correction Center in Connell. Congresswoman Kim Schreier yesterday helped send a $1.5 trillion infrastructure package from the House to the Senate. The Moving Forward Act earmarks money for roads, school buildings, clean energy, and rural broadband. On the House floor yesterday, the 8th District Democrat said the new funding is critical while America struggles with the coronavirus pandemic.
It's a bold infrastructure package that will put America back to work, create new jobs, expand broadband access, and invest in schools and tomorrow's clean energy infrastructure. I'm proud to have included 2 important wins for Washington in this package. My bill to fund the Legacy Roads and Trails program will prioritize culvert repairs and riparian habitat in Washington's forests. And my amendment to ensure transit agencies in King and Pierce counties have flexibility and predictability will allow them to continue to serve riders during this public health crisis. Passing the Moving Forward Act now is how we shore up our infrastructure, set the stage for a clean energy future, and restore our economy and families' financial security.
Coming up next, many Northwest farms are seeking Salmon Safe certification, and we'll introduce you to one such farm near Leavenworth. Chip sealing work will begin Monday on heavily traveled Chumstick Highway outside Leavenworth, with traffic delays expected on 2 areas of that highway. And Okanagan Superior Court will temporarily be relocating from the county courthouse to the fairgrounds in Okanagan. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The 2 hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with 3rd-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. 2 more reasons when it comes to buying a truck: there's no reason to leave town.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome back. In another news, many Northwest farms are seeking what's called Salmon Safe certification, doing their part to raise healthy produce while keeping waterways clean and clear for migrating fish. The Cascadia Conservation District, which helps the certifying farms in Central Washington, introduces us to one such Salmon Safe operation along the Icicle River.
Hi, I'm Sandy Letzig. I work for Cascadia Conservation District, and I help run our ag and water quality program. And we're here with Jenny today from Snowgrass Farms. She's one of our new farmers for the Salmon Safe program. So she's going to kind of give us a tour of the farm. We're going to talk about the process and learn a little bit more. So if you want to introduce yourself and the farm.
Sure. Yep, my name is Jenny Bourgeois, and I started Snowgrass Farm 3 years ago, so it's still pretty new. It's just under 2 acres worth of diversified produce, and we also have fruit, berries, and things like that. I just mostly do market kind of scale production. And yeah, I do everything from lettuce and greens to broccoli, carrots, beets, that kind of stuff. I'm currently selling at the Leavenworth Farmers Market, the Plain Farmers Market. I have a farm stand on site that's open on Mondays, and then I sell to various restaurants. I think it's really important for consumers to understand the products that they're purchasing. So the farm is located next to the Little Chumstick Creek, as much as having a really nice source of riparian wildlife buffer to be near the farm. That helps in a lot of ways, whether it's just birds, maintaining pest pressure, or just creating a diversified habitat. And so we did want to make sure that we maintained the proper distance from the creek.
A lot of people don't know that Leavenworth uses the Icicle as a drinking water source. So anything that's coming from the land to the water eventually might end up in somebody's drinking water.
Part of the goal, I guess, of the farm is to have water transfer into where it comes through and leaves the same, if not better. At the beginning of the season, we might use what's called a tilther, which doesn't flip the soil, but it just chops it, and that's how we mix our amendments in. Okay. But that's kind of the only time of year we use that, and that really helps with, again, the water retention in the soil. You're not losing as much water, and it just mitigates a lot of weed pressure.
How are you going to use this Salmon Safe certificate?
Cascadia, you guys were super helpful in kind of filling in those gaps if there were any. I feel like the certification process was way easier. There's a lot of people who are looking for that kind of accountability from their producers. I highly recommend it also because it will make your farm better, whether it's like helping you create plans that you didn't have or actually helping you tweak what you're doing so it is more sustainable in whatever way that is.
Well, let's check out the farm.
In other news, chip sealing work will begin Monday on heavily traveled Chumstick Highway outside Leavenworth, with traffic delays expected on 2 areas of that highway. Chelan County Public Works says the road is limited to 1 lane during the work, with flaggers directing traffic. The speed limit also is reduced to 35 miles per hour in the work zones. The county has recommended travelers use an alternate route if at all possible. Okanagan Superior Court will temporarily be relocating from the county courthouse to the fairgrounds in Okanagan. The move into the Agriplex and Annex will allow the court to continue cases that have been postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The larger space will allow for adequate social distancing space for all involved. The Fair Board has recommended the Okanagan County Fair be canceled this year, but county commissioners have yet to act on that recommendation. The fair is scheduled for September 10th through the 13th. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Nissan is the value leader in new cars and SUVs. Check out these new models starting at under $20,000. The all-new Versa from $17,020. The all-new Sentra from $17,400. And the all-new Kicks from $17,995. Now you can have the Nissan style, performance, and reliability, all for under $20,000.
And they're all here at Town Nissan, up behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. Crown Line features the Forte gel coat, which perfectly accentuates the sporty silhouette of this boat. Its contours are further enhanced by Crown Line's patented fast tab hull design, which not only embraces the distinctive sports car styling, but also ensures a safe and comfortable ride. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In a Q&A session hosted by the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center on Wednesday, Chelan Douglas Health Officer Dr. Malcolm Butler warned there is a, quote, storm brewing on the horizon, unquote, as a second wave of COVID-19 arriving in the Wenatchee Valley. In tonight's feature story, Butler said the majority of new cases are coming from people showing no symptoms. He also addressed claims that COVID-19 is no worse than the seasonal flu and said our area is not yet ready to move to the next phase of the state's reopening plan.
Of the total number of cases we have tested in Chelan and Douglas County, the blue are the people who had symptoms at the time they were tested, and the orange are the people who are asymptomatic. That means, no, I don't have a headache, no, I don't have a sore throat, no, I don't feel tired. So I don't know how many people listening to me right now don't have a headache, don't have a fever, don't feel tired. Every single one of us could have COVID-19 right now and not know about it. And that, again, is why this pandemic and this virus is so incredibly difficult. It is my belief that most of the infection is happening from people who have no symptoms at all and are going out and wandering around town because they know they're fine and they're not going to infect anybody. Seasonal flu, we have a medicine called Tamiflu that we can treat it with. We have vaccinations that we can protect people. And the healthcare system was designed and sized appropriately to manage seasonal flu when it comes through. This is completely different. Now, from the virus's standpoint, in influenza, the vast majority of people have symptoms. I think it's like 10% of people in influenza do not have symptoms. 30% of people, 33% of people are asymptomatic with COVID-19. And as I mentioned before, that means that if you stay home when you feel sick, you'll still be wrong a third of the time. And that's just not the same in the flu. The other thing is COVID-19 looks to be overall probably at least 10 times as infectious as influenza. So it's got all these things going for it. It's contagious when you don't know. It's incredibly virulent and contagious. It takes 5 to 10 days to start showing symptoms. So again, there's this long period where you're asymptomatic. So it is almost the perfect pandemic type of virus, and it is much more dangerous than influenza. When those comments were first being made, gosh, look, hardly anybody's died from this, and look at all the people who died from influenza, that was a couple of months ago. If you look now at the number of people who have died relative to those who die every year, and then you wait and see what it's going to be like a year from now by the time the virus comes out, this is way, way, way worse. What we know now, for example, is that COVID-19 in Eastern Washington looks very different than in Western Washington. I don't know exactly why. I don't know if that's urban versus rural, or cold versus hot, or agricultural versus non-agricultural, but it's different, and the way it moves through communities is different. So we're at a point now where one size no longer fits all. And I think it makes more sense to tailor things individually. And I know the Department of Health has been willing to do that, which is why, even though Chelan and Douglas counties did not qualify based on the governor's phased approach to move into phase 2, we put together a proposal and it was accepted. And so we're calling that phase 1.9. The next move to phase, for us, 2, and for many people, phase 3, everybody was just expecting things will go well and we'll move forward. They were not anticipating the second wave was going to hit right now. And as I've mentioned, we are now in the second wave, and I honestly think from the state's perspective, that's going to put everything on hold.
All right, time now to take a look at what we're going to call Phase 2 of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And let's take a look outside our weather window up at Lake Wenatchee. A beautiful day to head up that way this afternoon. Just a few high clouds and some lower hanging mountain clouds. We see that a lot this time of year. Beautiful Kaler Glen Golf Course, and of course Lake Wenatchee right there. What a great day to be up that way. And I'll tell you what, it's just going to get better. We'll get to that in a second. But unofficially today, not too bad as far as temperatures go. 79 our high temperature. That's an unofficial temp, and 83 is where we should be for this time of year. 57 is where we started our day, and 59 is normal. Record high 104 degrees. That was set back in 2013. Record low 43 set in 1962. Still no new precipitation, and we have been stuck on 2.66 inches of precipitation. That has been since January 1st. We just haven't had much this year. Sunrise 5:09, sunset tonight at 9:01. Let's take a peek now at your Friday weather forecast, and as we end this week, some of us will have it off tomorrow, heading into the long 4th of July weekend. And I'll tell you folks, it's really the start of some nice weather as we get into tomorrow. 85 in Moses Lake, 84 of Freda, 83 for you folks in Quincy. We'll be about 82 in Wenatchee, lower 80s from Kashmir up into Chelan. Lake Wenatchee, beautiful at 75, and Omak, your high tomorrow at 79 degrees. As we take a look at our surface loop now, we'll take you through the next 7 days or so. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Lots of clear skies around the western United States. Those isobars still kind of tightly packed together, and that's going to mean some breezy weather for us as we make our way through this map. Friday, sunny. Will be a little bit breezy tomorrow. You can see right here in the central part of Washington where we'll see most of the breeze. Seasonal temps, though, and that means temperatures in the lower 80s for us on Friday. Nice all across the country, especially the west tomorrow. And then on Independence Day on Saturday, it just couldn't be better. Still a little bit of a nagging breeze out there, but not enough to really wreck our day. Mostly sunny for Saturday and a little bit warmer. We will be solidly into the middle 80s as we get into the upcoming weekend, and that goes for Sunday too. Sunny skies for Sunday and warmer. Nice ridge of high pressure up and over most of the western United States, and that'll bring temperatures once again into the middle and upper 80s, maybe even pushing 90 down in the Tri-Cities. Monday, those breezes return. The red areas, remember, the strongest wind, and that's right here in north central Washington. The good news, we're going to continue with the warm weather. We'll stay about middle 80s or so as we get into Monday. Tuesday, more of the same, mostly sunny with temperatures once again between about 80 and 90 degrees. We're really seeing a big influx of southwesterly air, and that's bringing us all those warm temperatures. For Wednesday, mostly sunny. We will see lots of clear skies all over the western United States, and temperatures on Wednesday near normal, and that means highs then right around 85 degrees. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. 56 the overnight low tonight, so slightly below normal with those clear skies. Sunny and breezy for Friday and 82. And then, boy, this weekend, once again, 4th of July, Saturday, mostly sunny and 86. Sunday, a nice one, sunny and 87. Looks like Monday right now will be our warmest day of the 7 days at 88, and then we'll stay in the middle 80s for both Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
What is it to be a volunteer firefighter? Is it the gear, the training, the vehicles you learn to drive, the honor of protecting your community? Time, energy, sweat, sometimes blood and even tears. Every call may not be a victory. Sometimes you'll walk away wondering if you helped at all. But sometimes you will be a hero.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. Well, it didn't take long for Scott Payne to come back close to home. The Wenatchee native has landed the job as new district athletic director for the Lake Chelan School District, taking over for Rob Rainville. Payne left the Wenatchee School District 3 years ago to take over as AD at Sunnyside High School. He was the middle school athletic director in Wenatchee and coached the varsity boys golf team. The 30-year-old earned his Bachelor of Science from the University of Washington in biology with minors in chemistry and psychology back in 2013. He also earned his dual Masters of Science in Business and Athletic Administration from Ohio University in 2018. The Chelan School District said the hiring process was extremely competitive, attracting over 30 applicants, including athletic administrators from the collegiate level. Welcome home, Scott Payne. Well, the first domino may have fallen in a trend of fall sports cancellations. Yakima Valley College announced yesterday it has canceled its fall sports season for soccer and volleyball. Officials at the community college in Yakima felt that with the Yakima County still in phase 1 of the state's reopening plan, the trend and timing weren't promising enough to move forward with seasons originally set to start in a month. We've reached out to NWAC Executive Director Marco Azurdia for a conference-wide assessment, as well as Wenatchee Valley College Athletic Director Kyle Varick to see how this might impact programs here. Chelan County is still in modified phase 1 of the state's reopened plan. Well, fans hoping to watch the Seahawks take on the Las Vegas Raiders at CenturyLink Field August 13th have had their plans foiled. NFL announced Wednesday that the preseason has been narrowed to just 2 games due to the coronavirus pandemic. The thought is to push back the start of the exhibition season to allow teams more time for training following an all-virtual offseason. Teams are scheduled to gather in person for the first time July 28th in training camp. In addition, the NFL has said the final preseason games will also go along the wayside, giving teams a longer period of time to prepare for the regular season the second weekend of September. This means Seattle's trip to Minnesota that was set for September 3rd also canceled. So the Seahawks right now anyway will play their first preseason game August 22nd at Houston, then host the LA Chargers August 27th. So far, no changes have been made to the regular season NFL schedule. Well, meanwhile, Russell Wilson continues to ignore warnings from the Players Association about working out during the pandemic. Today, a video was released of Wilson working out with wide receiver Antonio Brown. Well, Brown is currently teamless and facing possible NFL suspension for off-field incidents, including allegations that he sexually assaulted his former trainer, which he denied. In March, Brown pleaded no contest to charges from a January incident where he and his new trainer attacked a moving truck driver. He was given 2 years probation in court. Well, the Mariners checked in for spring training at T-Mobile Park in downtown Seattle yesterday, but found a whole new environment. The clubhouse is now a very restricted area that is being carefully regulated for safety concerns to allow for baseball's return during the COVID-19 pandemic. Players first had to be tested for the virus. They must test negative before taking the field as a group for the first time on Friday. The 60 players will be broken up into smaller groups for workout purposes and further divided up into morning and afternoon sessions. Loitering in the clubhouse strictly prohibited. There will be no team meals. Instead, players will be handed a boxed meal on their way out the door, and all players are required to wear a mask except when working out or on the field, as a face covering is possibly prohibitive. Well, the summer run sockeye fishing season opened on the Columbia River yesterday. A few boats tested the waters below Rocky Reach Dam. You can see here that they're still trying to get there. About 6 boats in the noon hour today. Some turbulent waters right there below Rocky Reach Dam because of the spillways that are open there. You can see that turbulent water right there. Also, here's a picture of some success yesterday. Brad Wagner of Bobber Down Guide Service with his daughters Brooke and Lizzie. They had success yesterday morning braving the waters below Rocky Reach Dam. And here's our buddy Mike Roth, who works as an installer for Localtel but moonlights with his Team Takedown Guide Service. On the side, he and his wife Jill went out for an evening try last night. Both came away with limits in short order. The upper Columbia River is open for sockeye salmon fishing above Priest Rapids Dam to below Wells Dam. Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife announced yesterday that the river will open to summer Chinook salmon fishing July 16th. That's also when the Brewster Pool above Wells Dam will open for both sockeye and kings. Be sure to check out the latest regulations, wdfw.wa.gov. That's Sports Summer at Granstrom. Hey, I'm gone for a week. I'm on vacation. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric, and have a great week off. Well-deserved, I might add. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. We are lucky to have the day off tomorrow. Our management, Brenda, gave us the day off tomorrow, so there will be no Wake Up Wenatchee Valley tomorrow, nor will there be any broadcasts of the evening news. We hope you all have a great 4th of July weekend. See you again on Monday.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show will bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.